Hello everyone, welcome back. Good evening. We have Bitcoin at 111,433, finally slightly recovering, although nothing too crazy in terms of movement today. Overall, up 0.01, well, 0.1%. Nothing much changed. The big headline for today was the whole NVIDIA going to release their earnings. It's going to crash the crypto markets if it goes bad, and if it goes good, then we'll be fine. Well, it went well, spoiler alert. And here we are. Nothing's changed. So it was, I assume, a nothing burger. Now, we know that directly NVIDIA has nothing to do with crypto, although some could argue, sure, for mining, you do need those graphics cards. You know, mining Bitcoin, they do use that. Also, it is determining, I guess, how the most important company in the United States is performing, which it has been performing very well, so that's overall a good thing. And then there's also all these talks about what's going to happen with the NVIDIA sales on China. Excuse me. So, yeah, that's all a whole other topic, but we'll get to that because I have a couple articles I want to talk about in terms of it later on in the show. Let's get into the technical analysis for Bitcoin. Well, really, there isn't really, much to discuss here. Bouncing down off of the downtrend line, which is still intact. I'm surprised Supertrend has not come down further than where it has over here. It's invalidating at 116,833. I think that's a little bit too far up. My order did not get filled. I haven't streamed yesterday, so I guess there is some ground to cover for these previous couple of hours. Yeah, it's unfortunate my order didn't get filled. I called the 108 to be a bottom, but I couldn't hit that. I guess I had 108,185 for my trigger order, and lowest point was 108,688. I think I was live at this exact hour. I was, and I was like, yeah, we'll hit that overnight. We didn't. We just went higher. Well, whatever. I'm not too concerned about it. Like, honestly, if we're still in this area, I feel safe with this order here. If we do, take one more dip lower before continuing higher, I still have a positive view for this week. We are getting more economic data tomorrow and the day after. That economic data is the GDP, and also, I clicked on the wrong thing. The GDP and PCE data that will be coming out help determine whether or not this percentage over here increases or decreases our chances of getting a rate cut for September. PC is the more important reading that the Fed loves. 88% chance as of right now. That's not too bad, but I guess traders want to see this above 90. They're that greedy, so we won't get a pump until that actually happens. We shall see, though. I'm overall optimistic about it. NVIDIA earnings, I was, more or less, I was expecting it to go well, but even if it went wrong, I'm like, hey, you know what? Fine, go bad, give me a good dip, and we can continue higher. But, ultimately nothing really reflected on the price of cryptocurrencies. So that's fine by me. We'll continue onward. We're now expecting that next data to come out, so we'll see when we get there. Hopefully it should be good and break us out of this downtrend line, hit our next resistance at 114,500. And then we can take off to whatever the next levels are. I would probably focus more on the... I don't know. I disagree with this, but we'll see. All right. In terms of my positions, how are they doing? Stellar is the only one that's not been performing well ever since yesterday, I think. It started going red, started going against me. Dropped a little bit more on it today. No big deal, but I still have a positive view for Stellar, so it's just probably a temporary thing. We'll continue higher. My Bitcoin position is worse, of course. It's dragging everything down, but the rest of my coins are doing pretty well. Solana's doing the best, actually. It went above 200 finally again today, so we'll discuss that soon. Ethereum, we'll have a look at it. I'm not buying into Ethereum yet. I am... What am I even waiting for, really? A good drawback below 4,000 is probably what I would hope to get more Ethereum on. It's crazy me thinking I'm going to be buying Ethereum at these prices. But whatever. Why is Pepe here? Show me something relevant. There we go. Anyway. Current price of Ethereum, 4,500 flat. We were just coming down. We hit a high of 4,466. Sorry, 4,662. I'm reading the wrong one. That didn't make sense in my brain. Just 2-3 days ago, we were at all-time highs, which that new number is $4,956.49. Our super trend invalidates right there as well. We are technically in a downtrend for it, which is crazy considering that we are at these high levels. But I guess it makes sense. We break out of our all-time high. We're in an uptrend because you're supposed to be in an uptrend if you're going to be breaking all-time highs. So logically, sure, I guess that makes sense, but it's pointing towards the downside for now, so keep that in mind. So is Bitcoin. What is not pointing toward the downside is Solana, and it is heading higher, and oh, look at that projection. Practically predicted this from the bottom over here. I didn't buy any more Solana from this dip, this drawdown that we had down to 185. Because I already had a good position open here. Why would I increase my average price? Probably to increase my exposition, but that was only if I knew for sure that Solana was going to continue higher. I didn't know for sure, so I didn't have a trigger order, or maybe I've already removed it. But double resistance clearly right over here, 212, 213. We just hit a high of 212 and 7 cents. Current price is $203.33. My current P&L is 631. When we were at these high levels, I saw Solana at this price, and I was making 800 something. I'm like, I could probably sell. I didn't, and probably regretted it because we got like 7 consecutive red candles right after that in the 4-hour chart. Never reached over sold territory though for it, so I guess that's why I was like reluctant to also enter here, because I was thinking, hey, maybe we can break this uptrend and drop down lower. That's where I'd consider probably entering a new position. But that didn't happen. We went back up, so we're fine. Above 200 Solana, I'm happy. XRP, it did go above $3 temporarily. We are now a little bit below. 297 is the current price for it, down 0.25%. It's not soaring past $3. AI is wrong. Don't listen to AI. We technically do have a downtrend going on for XRP. Following this line, look at this perfect bounce down right over here at a resistance of 308 from this God candle that we got. When was this? 26th? This was yesterday. Huge recovery for XRP. I don't know if there was any fundamentals behind it other than the fact of, you know, their partnership with Gemini and MasterCard, which I covered the day before when we were crashing. So maybe a delayed reaction. I don't think we got anything new necessarily for XRP, but overall still good. I have a position open right over here. Nothing too crazy either. Making a $60 profit. It's just to give me some exposition onto XRP. I was hoping it would drop further down. It kind of did, but not to a level that I would consider entering again. So that's why I'm stuck here, I guess, with XRP. Chainlink, $23.83. Good bounce right over here. Level that we did kind of predict, and the uptrend is maintained officially. We're at this Fibonacci level, I guess, the $23.80 something. And yeah, you have a clear uptrend to draw over here. So I will go ahead and draw this, and we can make it steeper as well. I'm having some problem with coughing now, like after I've been cured of my sickness. It's still congested, right? And I'm struggling to recover from that, so I'll be coughing occasionally. But the rest of it, I guess I'm pretty much recovered by there. The highest point we have for Chainlink, $27.72. That's where we have a resistance, I guess. For our recent high, Chainlink has been on a roll, and I expect it to continue higher because it deserves to. SUI is at 346. Not a big recovery as I would have expected for a volatile asset like SUI. Probably one of the few that has not. It's got a delayed reaction for taking off here. Would still be a good buy at these prices in my opinion. My average price, I managed to drop it to 341. I entered another position here. I don't remember if this was live. 25th of August. It was 2 days ago. I'm pretty sure I would have already covered it then. Right? I assume so. Yeah. Currently a $93 profit on it. I'm expecting it to go higher, and I will have to readjust this uptrend, whatever this uptrend comes from. It's a recent one. Okay. Yeah, it's fair enough to, I guess, draw this. Super trend is in the green. That's a good thing overall. Clear support at 333, 332 approximately there. I don't think we're going to see those levels if we do continue making, you know, higher highs, higher lows. Should take us, break us out of this downtrend. Resistance at 360, and we can continue higher from there. Moving on to Cardano, 85 cents is the current price. It's twice now that my order did not get filled. Is this number cursed or something? I think I'm still going to keep it there, honestly, at 82. We've had 2 drops to 82, and it still didn't, like those millicents, that small distance, it doesn't fill my orders. They don't get triggered, which makes me triggered, but it's fine. Uptrend is maintained nonetheless. I guess kind of same deal with what we're seeing with Sui, right? It didn't have a huge recovery either from its drop, so it's probably at a delayed start. Oh, you still got your ADA at 92, Mr. Below in chunks. Yeah, there was some opportunities to sell it, but I mean, fair enough. Hey, if you can, like, I'd still think it's a good idea to DCA, although I really wanted that 82 price. Yeah, it touched the $1 mark. I saw that. I was talking about that in one of my earlier streams. Like, hey, I remember this guy's got some Cardano at 92. Funny. Yeah, but we could, I still think it's a positive outview for Cardano. Great. Litecoin's still at 112 as well. Still stuck there. This order almost got filled. It didn't. I had one trigger order at 106. Man, I'm really good at calling bottoms, but it's just the cents, or not even cents in some cases, that I don't get my orders filled, which is unfortunate. I guess I just have to put like a purposely higher price just to get these orders filled, honestly. But if I do that, then it'll like drop significantly lower, and I'm like, oh, I could have put it originally where I wanted to. I guess I'll stick with my own strategy. Are you going to sell around 120 to 180? Yeah, that's good as well. I do expect us to continue going higher for the next several weeks. Still think we got enough juice in this bull run. The cycle is not fully over yet. All season has not fully kicked in. So there is definitely going to be a chance to maybe even higher, I would say. I'm going to boldly claim Cardano will go higher than that probably. We'll see though. Yeah, for now, okay, here, Litecoin still stuck, 121 resistance. Still got a lot of resistances for Litecoin. It's gonna take a while for it to get out of there. And Stellar, XLM. Yeah, October, November, definitely. That's the time to sell. Slightly negative with my Stellar position, but it's fine. Bought perfect bottom here, bought perfect bottom here, and this time I didn't really, because I just saw it was going a bit negative. I'm like, why is Stellar the only one negative, except for Bitcoin, of course. All my other positions were positive if I timed the perfect bottoms for each. So I decided to, you know, this is more of an ego buy. It wasn't that much either way. And then I thought, oh, why did I do that? I should have waited for after NVIDIA earnings. This happened in the morning, right? The 8 a.m. candle. But yeah, it's fine though. I think we'll still continue higher. And I have a take profit all the way up here. Should make me 2,000 plus. So that should be good. And it's a realistic take profit too. Right? We've reached 49 cents. More than that. We've reached 52 cents for Stellar before. So it's likely in my opinion. Great. I think that's all for my coins. Yeah, good stuff overall. All right, let's get on to the news. I think I went a little bit too fast for this, and I don't got too much news to cover, but we'll eventually find something to talk about to fill up the time. So we got NVIDIA reporting their earnings. It happened at 4 o'clock, and it was good. The earnings per share of $1.05 per share. They beat the expectation of $1.01. The revenue, $46.7 billion. It beat the expectation of $46.1 billion. So that was also good overall. NVIDIA announced a $60 billion share buyback program. So that should be good as well. And they said that their next quarter expects good stuff as well. $54 billion in revenue. Which was above their expectations of $52.1 billion. That's even higher than what it is currently, right? They just got $46 billion of revenue. and they're expecting 54 billion for the next quarter, for the end of this year, how it closes. We'll see. It's a bit optimistic, but I think they can do it. They're still a top company, so it'll work out. And of course, look at how they're celebrating the news. It's crashing. It's like, what? Why are we crashing? This makes no sense. Also, I think part of the reason why crypto didn't really take off is that, yeah, the earnings were good that we got for NVIDIA, but it's crashing. Why are we crashing? It doesn't make any sense. So that has the market a bit spooked. Either way, it seemed like it was a lose-lose situation. Whatever. NVIDIA beat the expectations, but stock is down sharply. And also wanted to show this because they reported, you know, record quarterly revenue. That's the highest revenue that they've ever reported, right? And this is without them selling a single H20 chip to China yet. And they are guiding up to $55 billion in revenue for the next quarter without any H20 shipments to China in its outlook. That's how strong this company is, right? Without any sales to China. Interesting, right? Imagine what will happen to the stock if China's business even comes half back to life, right? If they start buying NVIDIA chips. Yeah. AI revolution in full swing. I think NVIDIA will still go higher overall. I would take advantage of this dip. Is it even that catastrophic? I don't even know. I haven't looked at it on a trading view chart, but it should be pretty good. Nonetheless, it's practically at all-time highs either way, right? Yeah, this is all-time highs. Here's a sharp drop right over here. It's not even that significant. I think things will turn around tomorrow morning. People will be like, why? We got good earnings. We could continue higher. Let's go higher. I think they're going to do that. I will probably buy a little bit in the Canadian share right over here, because this is going to open like all the way down here at $40 probably. Below 40. I'll DCA some positions into NVIDIA. Although I think I already have one from over here. Yeah, I guess that's the market's getting a little bit too greedy with NVIDIA. Yeah, but I still think it's a good opportunity to buy nonetheless. This dip makes it's unjust to punish NVIDIA for that, in my opinion. So I think it's a good idea to buy at that time. Great. Also, this was interesting. One customer represented 23% of their total $46.7 billion worth of revenue, which means, you know, 23% of $46 billion was somebody spending $10 billion and buying NVIDIA stuff during that quarter, which was impressive. Who knows which company has been doing that? But, I mean, business is fully intact. Some people say, though, that it's because NVIDIA is the only one that's doing it. If a competitor comes in, like half of NVIDIA will be gone, is what most people are saying. So that's the only risk I see with it. But until then, like, you gotta ride the wave, in my opinion. Did you guys hear about this whole Cracker Barrel thing situation as well? About them changing the logo. It was pretty woke, is what they're saying. The CEO made a mistake in changing the Cracker Barrel logo. And the stock price for it crashed as well, which is pretty funny. I don't know if I could find Cracker Barrel. Yeah, it's right here. They changed the logo to take out the guy that's sitting next to the barrel or something, and it made the stock price like crash or something. But now they've slightly recovered. Trump made some comments on it saying that they should go back to the old logo, admit a mistake based on customer response, the ultimate poll, and manage the company better than ever before. They got $1 billion worth of free publicity if they played their cards right. Very tricky to do, but a great opportunity. Have a major news conference today. Make Cracker Barrel a winner again. Remember, in just a short period of time, I made the United States of America the hottest country anywhere in the world. Of course, Trump wants the companies to do well in his own country, right? All right. Obviously, this is met with a bit of criticism, like, why is Trump giving his opinion on companies? You don't want the government getting involved with companies. You know, there was that whole situation with Intel as well, where the government got a 10% stake in Intel now. And, you know, some people are like, yay, it boosts the stock. The government's infinite money, right? Versus other people are like, okay, why is the government getting involved? Like, they're clearly just trying to make themselves look good by making their companies look good by bailing them out or saving them, right? Whatever the case is. That's the kind of criticism that is met with that. We also had the news that I covered of Fed Governor Lisa Cook getting fired by Trump because of her mortgage fraud claims, right? She's countering this, saying that Trump has no authority to fire her and she will continue to carry out her duties. Also, a bit of a mixed response with this one. The fact that the president can fire somebody from the Federal Reserve, they're supposed to be an independent organization, and that is not really supposed to happen. So people are like, okay, so I guess that's no longer a thing anymore, or what are we doing here? What's going on? If you can fire Fed Lisa Cook, why can't you fire Fed Chair Powell, right? And other people are like, okay, well, she's going to be gone, cool, and, you know, Trump is going to appoint somebody that is pro-quantitative easing, more likely to get the rates cut or vote for that kind of stuff, right? So on the other hand, could be good as well. Also could be a way of Trump, you know, kind of wanting to control the Federal Reserve, because he wants rates to be cut like 3% in total. It should be down to 1% is what he thinks the interest rates should be. And I think that's an exaggeration, but he's really criticized Powell over this, right? So probably another way to pressure him to do something about the rates. It's likely that we're going to get our first rate cut in September, though. Although it's not going to be a great one. It's just going to be a basic 25 basis point rate cut. That's it. We also got the whole situation with Russia-Ukraine that is still not resolved. We already had updates from before that. The Russians think that Zelensky is illegitimate and probably not willing to work out a deal or some ceasefire, none of that. We had to sanction India. Well, we had to put tariffs on India, sorry, as a way of indirectly hurting Russian economy to for the oil buying, right? To kind of pressure Russia into getting them to make a ceasefire deal with Ukraine. White House Trade Advisor Peter Navarro said that India could get a 25% off the tariffs if they stop buying Russian oil. Keep in mind that tariffs are like 50%. So there's really like that push to be like, come on, India, do something, tell Russia to stop bombing Ukraine and work out a ceasefire deal. And apparently even Trump has been trying to call Prime Minister Narendra Modi from India, and he's declined his phone calls. Apparently he's clearly not happy with what Trump's been doing by getting India involved in the whole Russia-Ukraine conflict by putting the tariffs on them. Okay. Lisa Cook said she would continue serving, so probably good when it comes to faith in the dollar. Big L if she steps down. Yeah, I guess that is also true. I mean, dollar was dropping on the news that she was going to be resigning, that kind of stuff. I haven't checked on the dollar index since then. I don't know if we probably have recovered given how Bitcoin's been looking. This was the drop on that news. Yeah, we've kind of recovered from that. We're on our way back down a little bit, as I'm assuming the percentage odds are rising for a rate cut. We're at 88%, so that's probably what's been going on. This is interesting. U.S. government will be publishing economic data on the blockchain now. So I guess that's for transparency's sake, right? Also, you know, the whole fact that the economic data was being manipulated by a Biden-appointed lady, I forget her name, that Trump had to fire and replace with somebody else because of the revised jobs data that we've been getting. Crazy numbers, right? Making Democrats look good before the election and making Republicans look bad after the election, which caused a bit of uncertainty, right? So that should hopefully no longer be an issue, and putting it on blockchain, yeah, it should be good. There was also talks about back when Elon Musk was partially in charge, the talks of getting the U.S. debt and all their spending to be put on blockchain for transparency with the people. That would have been a really cool idea, but I don't think anything came of it. So yeah, the question is which blockchain. According to this guy, it's ERC20. I don't know if that's really the case, but we'll see. U.S. Treasury also buying back $1.4 billion of its own bonds. In total, just the last 2 weeks, this has been constantly happening. It's $7.4 billion in buybacks. They're buying back their own debt. So interesting stuff as well going on there. Means liquidity is rising, right? This was yesterday, today, big day for crypto.com, Kronos. It's about time we start talking about this, and I'm happy to finally be making some profits there. I had a lot of Kronos. I just sold it all for profit. Could have made more profit today because it kept on going up, but whatever. I made my profits. I've been wanting to get rid of it. I've talked about this before, so it's nothing new. Like, especially with the crypto.com Visa card that I had, the benefits that they used to provide were really good, but now, because of the inflationary characteristics of it, they had to tone it down a little bit to kind of control that. I still have my crypto.com Visa card, but I have to, like, I want to get rid of it. I've got cash on there that I can't, like, cash out, right? If you put something into it, it's like a prepaid debit card. If you put some money into it, you have to spend the money on the card. Like, there's no way to take it back out or put it back into your account, right? I guess you could technically cash out at an ATM, but I'm sure there's going to be a fee with that. And I think I'd rather spend it on something, like actually something. So I'm still deciding what to spend my money on. It's about like 150. It's not even that much. But what am I even going to do with it? After that, after I spend the money on it, I'm going to unstake the Kronos that I have in there, because you need to lock up. It used to be $500 worth of Kronos. Now it's $650 in Canadian dollars. And it's going to take 30 days to unstake that. And I don't know if Kronos is still going to be high 30 days from now, depending when I decide to spend that money, right? I'm hoping it will be higher. Sure, 30 days from now, if I'll start skyrocketing, Kronos should follow along with it. And this news that we just got over here, really good news, and also part of the reason why we had a huge spike up today in the price. This is just Kronos I had laying on the side that I decided to sell. So I took profits on that, and I guess I'll be taking the rest of profits after the 30 days after my lockup is done. So we'll see. Historic day for Kronos. Trump Media Group, Kronos Strategy, has announced $6.4 billion in funds to build America's Kronos industry. It's good stuff. I'm happy for Chris, happy for their Crypto.com team, of course. At closing, Trump Media Group, Kronos Strategy is expected to be the world's largest holder of Kronos. That is a big deal. There's the press release information, la la la. Here's more information and Chris's comments on the whole thing. I guess I have to read all this. So wish me luck. Let me drink water. Okay. A historic day for Kronos. Trump Media Group, Kronos Strategy, announced a $6.42 billion US dollar treasury play. See the press release, la la la. Here's what you need to know. So there's a definitive agreement for a business combination with NASDAQ-listed York to establish Trump Media Group. Kronos Strategy was signed today. At completion, it will trade as MCGA, Make Kronos Great Again. Wow, that's interesting. At completion, Trump Media Group Kronos Strategy will be the world's largest holder of Kronos, which is 6.3 billion Kronos tokens. Yeah, 6.3 billion Chrono tokens. It's worth approximately $1 billion at the time of this announcement. Separately, Trump Media Technology Group, DJT stock, which has been rising too, by the way, will also be buying into this. There's the spike up from the news that it got. They acquired $105 million of Kronos and Crypto.com. They also counter-acquired $50 million of DJT. So the immediate effects of this, I'm also going to pull up the Kronos chart, I guess, while we're at it. Oh no, never mind. I was going to say, like, it. By the way, Kronos is finally listed on on Bing X. Finally, right? Like, I've been waiting for this to happen for such a long time. It's finally there, but there's like no chart history, so I can't really show you much on here. So I'm gonna have to go to like some other provider. CRO USD. Give me like, yeah, Coinbase. Huge. Look at this, right? This is what every man wants to see in life. Okay, so this was due to the $150 million buy, sorry, $105 million buy from Trump Media and Technology. And then this was the $50 million buy from Crypto.com, right? But of course, I think Kronos had a bigger reaction because of, you know, just the spontaneous announcement, the fact that Trump is getting involved into all of this, right? It brings the total Kronos under Trump Media Group umbrella to 7 billion tokens. Kronos will become the platform token of Truth Social as a part of this broad strategic partnership. That is also going to be crucial. At completion, Trump Media Group Kronos strategy is expected to have $200 million cash to acquire more Kronos. So there's going to be more buying, or I'm assuming the buying might have already happened today. I'm not sure. Although 200 million, what is the, I haven't checked the market cap for it. That's not what I'm looking for. Market cap. Where is Kronos? It is top 20 for sure. Where did it go? It's supposed to be here. I don't think this is updating. Oh, it's right here. It's already dropped down here. That's number 18. Why are you lying to me? Why does it point at 23? Scam. Hold on. It's not 23. It's 18. What is this? All right, whatever. We're going to pretend that didn't happen. This is the all-time high in 2021, by the way. Almost $1. 68 cents. I hit $1 in Canadian. That's why. I'm confusing my numbers here. Yeah, more skyrocketing happening. What is the market cap? Is the one I wanted to find. It's $10 billion. So yeah, a couple hundred million. It could have an impact on the price, but I think what was it at before? It was like number 30, and these numbers are like $500 million. Sorry, half of what we're at. Half of the 10 billion. $5 billion market cap is what it used to be at. I guess you could check market cap price. What am I struggling with? Right over here. Market cap was 5 billion. Yeah. After this announcement, of course, we only had a couple $100 million in purchases from Trump Media and Technology. So the rest of this doubling in its market cap, it's doubling in price, it being worth 15 cents, now being worth 30 cents, the doubling in market cap. That's just the rest of the market's buying the good news, I guess. So also part of the reason why I decided to take profits, because this is not only Trump buying it, but yeah, I know it will be a good thing overall for the long term, but I think it's at definitely an overbought area right now. Look at this RSI level, right? And we're still rising, crazily enough. So yeah, that was my thought process for it. Crypto.com and Trump Media Group are each chipping in additional $100 million cash each via warrants, and Yorkville is chipping in $20 million cash via warrants, bringing the total cash to $420 million. There's still plenty to buy a lot more. The company will also have access to a further $5 billion line of credit from Yorkville to, yes, you guessed it, to acquire even more Kronos. Wow, there's actually a lot of plans to buy. I think I might have sold a bit early. Cumulatively, this will add up to an unprecedented amount of dry powder for any digital asset treasury company, exceeding the total market cap of Kronos at the time of the announcement. To put it into perspective, to reach a similar level of buying power and impact on Ethereum, leading ETH treasury companies would have to buy hundreds of billion of Ethereum. Just unprecedented. Trump Media Group Kronos strategy will hold the Kronos it acquires forever. Okay, so that's tokens that are permanently gone, I guess. Helps with the deflationary thing. Trump Media Group Kronos strategy will stake the Kronos it holds. Okay, well, that just undoes the inflationary thing, I guess. To further boost its Kronos holdings and generate robust revenues for MCGA. I guess fair enough. Yeah, you got to make some revenues after holding on to this coin. Otherwise, what's the point? You're not just going to donate your money, I guess, buying up the supply. Make Kronos great again. All founding partners are fully committed to long-term success for all Make Kronos great again shareholders. I have not checked the price of that. MCGA and also York. What the heck is that? It does not exist unless it's this. No, it's not this. These are other stuff. This is on VBS, which is from a blockchain of Kronos. Okay, this is just... And it's existed for a long time. I don't think this is the actual thing. York, I'm assuming that has not come out yet. York acquisition, unless we're talking about this. Was it this? York acquisition? York. York W. York U. Yeah, it is NASDAQ listed, so it's this York company. Huge gap over here. This was opened in... Became public 25th of July. This is weird. This is from the news that it got, and it crashed immediately back down. That's funny. Interesting. Alright. Anyways, back to this. This means 4-year lockups for Trump Media and Technology Group, Yorkville, and Crypto.com, and MCGA Management. 12 months full lockup, and then partial unlocks every 6 to 12 months. Okay. Very reasonable public float of 13%. Original York holders... This presents a differentiated opportunity for investors in the digital asset treasury space. By the way, Sonic is also holding their vote for something similar like this to happen. Their vote ends September 1st, I think. We'll be getting results for that. September 1st, we'll see what happens. September 1st is going to be a big day. World Liberty Financial Unlock and Sonic Decision. Can't wait for those. Anyways, back to this. Mission of Trump Media Group Kronos strategy is to enhance the shareholder value by maximizing the flywheel effect. More funds raised, more Kronos bought, prices appreciate, allowing for more funds to be raised and more Kronos to be bought. As a result of the flywheel, one should expect Kronos to reach its full potential as the backbone of all financial services, including powering payments for AI agents. It appears that the market has responded well to the news. Oh yeah, you're telling me? In the wise words of the namesake of the soon-to-be the world's largest holder of Kronos, I get it. Thank you for your attention to this matter. And there's the official release. Good stuff. I kind of sensed something like this would be happening eventually. Oh, look, Kronos is trending right now. Because, remember when Trump invited all those crypto people to the White House on Crypto Day? Chris was there, you know? Imagine Kronos hitting $1 before Cardano. Yeah, I know, right? It's interesting stuff. I guess it's just trending because, yeah. Yeah, make Kronos great again. Yeah. Trump Media Group, Kronos strategy to acquire $6.42 billion. Historic time for the CRO fam. I know this guy, Oscar Ramos. He's very bullish on Kronos all the time. Like all the small blockchains that they were making, all these projects that they were doing. I remember before this guy even got married, he was always talking about Kronos, and obviously now he's rejoicing for this. The CRO fam is what he would always say. Interesting. I'm glad to see it. This is, you know, a bros helping bros moment or whatever. Kronos price up over 75% in the last month. Fortune favors the brave. I mean, well deserved, I guess. He's been definitely bullish on Kronos for the longest time, even during the worst periods of like crypto crashes and things like that. Well, congrats. VeChain also partnershiping with Kronos. Partnering, gosh. We're excited to announce a partnership with the VeChain official to provide secure custody support for their native assets. Good stuff. More adoption overall. VeChain also just another news. They're making big moves, it's what it seems like. The launch of USDC Bridge between Sui and VeChain opens the ecosystem to $69 billion in stablecoin liquidity, as well as new users and growth opportunities. Keep building on VeChain. I wonder if VeChain has any change to its price because of this. How far down is VeChain? Here we are. It's not moved. Well, 3%. No, that's in 7 days. Well, let me see what it is in 7 days. Yeah, no, it's not moved at all due to this news, but hey, partnerships nonetheless. There you go. Some people think it's a dead project. I think it's okay, but they need more going on for VeChain in order for it to actually be part of something big, right? Nayib Bukele, here's just a poly market or Kalshi, whatever you want to call it. 25% chance that El Salvador's Bitcoin reserve is worth $1 billion before December is what people are speculating or betting on over here. What happened here? Senator Ted Cruz met with Nayib Bukele, president of El Salvador, talking about anti-terrorism, la la la. There's no mention of crypto, it seems like, but for whatever reason, this is over here. The percentage is now changed to 40% from being 25% after El Salvador president Nayib Bukele tweeted this, saying, I could do the funniest thing right now. And obviously that would be to increase his Bitcoin reserves to $1 billion just for the sake of trolling this, market prediction polls, right? I mean, it would be benefiting himself either way, because they don't have a billion Bitcoins yet. They got like, what, 500... Sorry, not a billion Bitcoins, $1 billion worth of Bitcoin. They've been DCAing one Bitcoin every day, no matter the price. And I think they're at like $500 million or something. So it's not too difficult to do that for a government to just buy the rest of it to have a total of $1 billion worth of Bitcoin by December is what this is. What is this pointing to? It would be pretty funny. So yeah, him just making jokes on Twitter. This is the sentiment of the market here. Either the 4-year cycle has already topped and we're in a heavy distribution as buyers eventually exhaust, or we are just weeks away from the start of a blow-off phase, a fast doubling or more over 3 to 6 months. Okay, I think the 3 to 6 months is a bit too long. I think we got 2 months more max in this. A lot of people arguing about this on Twitter, a lot of middle ground. I still think it's the latter. Like we're gonna be definitely rising for the next upcoming weeks. We're already seeing Ethereum dominance coming back up against Bitcoin, right? Ethereum is outperforming Bitcoin. It has been in the recent couple weeks, right? Ethereum hitting all-time highs when Bitcoin is like all the way down over here. That kind of deal. So that's normally what happens in the cycles. And that's something that I've explained before in my streams. Bitcoin makes its all-time highs, and then you're going to see Ethereum making its all-time highs. And after we get confirmation Ethereum is able to come back from its miserable $2,000 price that it once was at, then we're going to see a lot of altcoins also start doing their 2x, 3x, 10x gains. And that will be parabolic. It'll be magnificent, so you don't want to miss it. Even this guy, this rapper, Big Sean, I don't know if you guys listen to any of his music. I don't. He says it's not too late to invest in crypto. He said this at a show. Do it tonight if you can. I think it's about to go up. That's what he says. So there you go. Literal rappers giving out financial advice. Although I wouldn't really trust rappers with money because... do I even have it here? Yeah, I do. Kanye West claims that he was hacked and that the Yeezy coin, the meme coin that crashed to the floor, was a product of him just getting hacked. This is the Yeezy coin right now. Look at that. Oh yeah, that's definitely it. I don't know who's crazy enough to buy this stuff, but yeah. Anyways, rappers aside, $5 billion in Ethereum options are expiring this Friday. And it could push Ethereum above $5,000 as bullish strategies dominate the expiry. Okay, if this just sounds like a bunch of gibberish, I'll explain. So you can buy contract and options and trade crypto like that using ETFs. ETFs enable you to trade options, right? Which is just like this prediction based. I'm going to buy a contract that lets me, this Ethereum that I have the option to sell it at another price. I think that's how it works. No, you have the option of buying Ethereum at a specific price 2 weeks from now, for example. It's usually 2 weeks, the contracts on average. forgive me if I'm completely uneducated, but this is the bit of knowledge that I have on it. Once that contract expires, which it tends to be every second Friday in the months, right? You have to exercise your option or you just do nothing with your contract, and those contracts cost money, meaning that the only risk that you lose money with is just buying whatever the contract cost, which usually isn't that much, meaning that your losses are limited but your gains could be unlimited. Well, not unlimited, but like you have a higher chance of getting a big return on your gains, which is why a lot of people trade options, right? Especially with something as volatile as crypto, you want that volatility because the volatility could be something huge toward the upside, and you can make a huge profit with a very small risk. And if you also get the volatility to go against you and it drops a lot, you don't have to take that huge loss. The only loss that you're taking is the contract that you bought, which, like I said, it's that very limited small amount. I'm saying small, but just exaggerating in terms of price numbers that you would gain or lose on it. So there seems to be a lot of people expecting Ethereum to be on the upside of things, right? Bullish strategies, which means that obviously it gets more expensive to buy contracts in that sense if a lot of people are expecting the same thing, but they expire on Friday. So yes, they will be, I don't know, something that makes the market go up. I'm really bad with explaining it, but it should be good overall. A lot of people are expecting it to be going to the upside. And they have to exercise their contracts once they do expire, which means buying Ethereum at those prices, at a specific price, right? And then you can sell it if you want to. Something weird like that. That's why I don't trade options, but I really do want to get into it. XRP got a major boost from China. There's a Chinese fintech giant company called Linklogis. They're putting its trillion-dollar supply chain finance platform on the XRP ledger. This is good for real-world assets, cross-border payments, trade finance, all on XRP ledger, which is good overall. And Ondo, they're talking a lot about this right now. Ondo Finance talking about tokenized US treasuries recently crossed $7 billion with 72% issued on Ethereum. This underscores Ethereum's role as the foundation for on-chain capital markets. Also good for RWA plays. Ondo has issued more than $1 billion of tokenized US treasuries on Ethereum. US treasuries marked the first wave of RWA adoption on Ethereum. The next phase, tokenized US stocks and ETFs through Ondo Global Markets. And like I said, I really like the tokenized stocks and ETFs idea. Very easy to lose everything in options. That's what I'm not too sure about. Because from what I've understood, I mean, there's different ways to trade it, right? There's buy calls, sell calls, and buy puts, sell puts. I'm assuming if you're doing the wrong thing, selling contracts or something like that, then you could lose a lot. That's basically off my understanding. But like I said, I'm not too educated on the subject, so you're gonna have to forgive me on that. And we've also got billions of dollars minted on Tether. That's always a good sign before a pump. When you get something like this, $1 billion minted on USDT, this means that, what are you going to do with $1 billion USDT? You're going to buy crypto with it. So that'll be good overall. They're preparing to buy. Echelon partnering up with Chainlink. They've upgraded to the Chainlink data standard on Aptos to power their DeFi market. So Echelon is a DeFi company, right? They're using Chainlink data with Aptos. That's the important part of it. And of course, here you see them shaking hands all together. Funny. Chainlink price feeds deliver the tamper-proof market data needed to support our lending markets and accelerate the growth of Echelon. Good stuff. Modular money market powered by Move. So I don't follow Echelon too much, but they're adopting Chainlink and Aptos. So also would be good for my Aptos position, I assume. No, it didn't really move on the news at all. Still good nonetheless. I still think Aptos is really, really undervalued. bad chart, but let me go to... Okay, let me just fix this. I have to go to USDT chart to show APT, USDT. Look at that. Look where we are. Come on. You don't think this is going to happen again? Like, come on. Really? Anyway. Pump.fun over the last week, they purchased up to $10 million in pump tokens, which equates to 99.32% of total revenue for that period. So they are buying up the revenue buyback thing program that they did previously announced. So that is working. That means that they have purchased a total of 58 million so far, which offsets 4.261% of the circulating supply. So Pump.fun is keeping up with their promises, I guess, and they kind of have been a little bit recovering since they're very, very low point. I'm on a weekly chart still. Yeah. Sort of stabilized. They definitely found their footing over here. But I'm out of it for now. They've got a lot of competition. You know, the Let's Bonk, the Meme Core, I think there's another one. And I'm not seeing a lot of memes do anything too crazy yet. I mean, if you want to be early to the game, should still be a good idea, right? Solana's been, you know, starting to perform well again. So maybe that'll be the initial catalyst to bring back popularity to Pump.fun. But they're still overshadowed by that one legal case. You had a bag of Aptos a year or so ago, dumped it, though tokenomics were rough. I do have to check on the tokenomics myself, but based off of what I'm hearing, right, with their similar deal to Sui and, you know, possible Solana killer, because we're seeing Solana could be the better option for Ethereum, although Ethereum is still, it's regained its popularity, right? But Solana still is going to be there. Sui is going to be like the better alternative for Solana, but then Aptos I still think has a good competition in that due to the transactions per second, right? On paper, it's hypothetically more than what Sui has to offer. So I'm looking at stuff like that I feel like other people could start integrating Aptos more, which we just saw Echelon do something with that, with Chainlink and Aptos. So I think, you know, with enough exposition, they could do something good. And the fact that they're at a really low price right now, I feel like it's basically a steal. 3x leverage, like I'm not getting liquidated down over here. We never hit these low prices. 288, it's never seen that. So I think it's a safe play in my opinion. And I'm willing to lose the money if I'm wrong, right? It's part of the risk I'm willing to take. But I mean, so far I think it's decent at this play. Even if the tokenomics aren't that good, I know there's other better options possibly, but I still think it's a safe play. So that's why I'm in it. That is also true. The community and narrative, yeah. But I mean, when alt season hits, when the FOMO kicks in, people will start looking at like, oh, what other stuff can we buy? What other good stuff is there, right? And eventually, like, crypto will continue to evolve and do better. I think it's about time. It's just about, you know, however long it takes for them to figure things out. I already covered that. All right, cool. Yeah. Yeah, I do have a bullish outlook nonetheless for Aptos. Even if it doesn't go back to like the $20, yeah, anything above $10, I'm perfectly fine with. I still think it's got a really good chance. I wanted to check on Pengu. I'm seeing it, I'm still seeing it all over the place. All over Twitter. We're at 30 cents. Okay, that's actually really good. Should I buy Penguin coin? This is so stupid. Alright. Yeah, come on. This is like before it got popular, like really popular, right? Oh, I'm looking at the wrong. We still got this uptrend going on. We're at a good support. I'm feeling it, man. I kind of wanted it. I kind of wanted Pengu for a long time, and I've always said, like, I want it to be like 30, what is this, cents? No, 3 cents. 3 cents? Am I blind? I thought it was 30. Whatever. 0.30. I guess that's what I wanted, right? Because we've seen it all the way up here at 46 at its best. And ever since then, I'm like, oh, dude, I should invest in Pengu because I think it's going to be a really good meme coin for this cycle. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. Although, I'll limit my entry. I'm trying to think here. We're at a stinky low point right now, but it's not oversold either. That's why I'm not, like, fully confident in this entry. Even if it goes below this, like, what's really the risk? 20 is where I get liquidated. I'm talking 3x leverage here. That's relatively safe. Like, come on. And I'll be DCAing more, of course, if we do continue dropping. I'll go 500. I'm going 500 in right now. All right? Blowing chunks, are you ready? We're going in it. There you go. Wait, I'm stupid. I don't have USDT. USDC. Hold on. This is so annoying. Why can't we just have like one stable coin that controls the whole economy? Let me go back down to 3x. Wait, what are you doing? All right. 3x leverage. Yes, yes, yes. I'm dropping 500. All right, there you go. I'll be dropping more if we do continue dropping. I'll be dropping more if we continue dropping. Great English. I'll have to determine how far below we can go, though. That's the issue with USDC. I don't have any historical data. This is so annoying. I'm gonna have to go to, like, USDT just to... Oh, you're dropping 1K. Oh, so no leverage, 1K. Okay, fair enough. I'm 3x, so, and I dropped 500, so that's 1,500 in total. Great, I cannot spell. Let me just, yeah, I'm at the 1-day chart. Ever since this uptrend happened, I would have to... Really? Okay. Okay, 27, then 22. Yeah. I want to copy this level. How do I do that? And I'll go to USDC version. I could just click on this. This is not even all-time high, is it? That's annoying if it isn't. I'm improvising here, okay? No, it's not exactly that level. That is so annoying. Alright. What was the all-time high? Go back. That's not what I'm looking for. This is what I want. Okay, there we go. And I'll lock this in place so I don't drag my mouse across the screen. Yeah, this makes sense. Second entry would be around 26.9, 26.8. Yeah, I'm confident in it. We'll be fine with this. Pengu will make us millionaires. Great. I'm happy. Great. Let's end the stream there on a good note, on a high note. Thanks guys so much for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure you like and subscribe. Any other updates from me? Not really. See you tomorrow. We'll talk about the GDP data. And if we have any change on our expectations for the next meeting, although PCE should be more important. Yep. Thanks for watching. Have a good night. Bye-bye.